Welcome to YILDIZ Readings 5D, a place in which we cover astrology, psychic updates, as well as the twin flame path. I do come to you live on Fridays, and if you do click the bell, you get the updates by zodiac sign and more. And very importantly, we do have new hubs opening early in 2022 and beyond. Galaxy Pub for information content, as well as the Age of Aquarius magazine. So without further ado, let's get into the update for your zodiac sign. And if you need to see me live, as I mentioned, live on Fridays. Very interesting card reading, Taurus. Now we are going to connect in with the psychic love tarot, as well as anything else your guides want you to know. The one thing I am seeing coming through already with your reading is there are a few challenges really moving from here into November, but it is showing that this is going to be a positive situation. It is going to turn out in your favor. I do feel that your time management also and old wounds, are really coming up, but you're trying to really navigate through it. And I see this to be a very spiritual process for you. Your crystal that you have for this point of the month, moving through to November, I'm grateful for my vital life forces with me and energy and the motivation to live life to its fullest. And now, yes, obviously some of these things that you're dealing with, the yellow chakra is coming up, and it can be to do with inner child, but it's also co-creativity. I do feel even financially, emotionally and spiritually, you're tying loose ends up, but you do have a little bit of fear relating to it. There's something of unfinished business coming up. Now, this can be people, places and things of the past, and it doesn't have to be a romantic individual. For some of you, you might have had a soul friend that is moving away. For others of you, whatever this letting go of, it's very difficult. It's becoming difficult, but it is asking and ushering you with that pain body experience to really hold on to the love. And I'm looking at the watermelon tumblr. Now, the love can be still the gratefulness of the process, but it is a new chapter, and this full moon especially is directly a new chapter. Some of you are now looking for your spiritual process and purpose. It's like, okay, now that that's gone. And it was funny, just before I come on, I read a post, and it was from the woke therapist. Hello again. We seem to be talking quite a bit now, don't we? Anywho, so yeah, it was really to do with, when a child, within a connection and family, when you're helping those connections, once and the eldest sibling tends to do that, once the siblings don't need saving anymore, what do we do? And it's more an analogy of a process of, okay, well, when we have purpose, that person was the purpose. Potentially it served a purpose. Now that that's gone, sometimes we can have this void, and that void can really, whatever that void is, wherever that void's coming from, it's refilling it, but it is making you feel a little bit vulnerable and threatened. But you got the 9 energy coming up, which is all to do with wanting to go into hermit mode, not really wanting to be around anyone, feeling a little bit isolated. You do have medicine bag in reverse of healing. So things can be a little bit emotional at the minute, especially moving into, I knew this card would be here, hole in the soul, an emptiness, a void. But remember, look at the void. It's red with passion and love. Looking at the skeleton behind, it's like a death of a situation, a brand new beginning. This new beginning with the people that you are connected to, as well as the new coming in. I do feel this also relates to sometimes the longing for an individual. This can be your twin flame or soulmate. I feel with that process, it's psychologically letting the past go, but also it's the memory of that within your heart. Moving into the heart-centered energy might have been a bit difficult, because we did have initially, Venus was in the house of Libra. It did move then over to Sagittarius, which is very Jupiter in nature, and it is your relationship sector. So there are positive things, but it's shifting it back into you, and there can be a lot that is going on, and especially if in your love life, be it you're coupled or single, there's things going on. There is, between now and November, set to be a lot of drastic changes. I feel intuitively, again, I'm seeing that you're having to tie up loose ends. And loose ends, it can be running around, getting things done, touching base, having old energies come up. It feels busy, but it does feel you're sort of pushing back, and you're saying, look, I need a little bit of time. You could take things initially in the next 3 days a little bit personally. And I'm noticing the white noise. That's how I'm seeing it. She's holding her air and she's like, look, be transparent. And at the moment, even with that transparency, potentially if you're feeling a bit unhinged, it wouldn't come through correctly. Okay, we're still in Mercury shadow. And definitely with Jupiter direct, we have everything happening in your relationship sector. Some of you are looking at a contract. Some of you are also looking at requiring to do something. You know, I'm hearing the term requiring, and it's almost like it's going to be a necessity due to finances potentially. But something's ushering you to make some decision, and it is to do with either family, children, or creativity, especially with the yellow chakra. I feel psychologically, some of these decisions you're making, you're wanting to do them the correct way. I do feel future tense as you're moving forward. It's almost like you're saying to yourself, gee, why did I do that? And it's better to not be critical on yourself, but just whatever it is right now, deal with it. And don't go into that self-loathing or hating it. It's perfectly natural for it to come up at the moment, but try not to have any guilt. Also try not to seek perfectionism. Know that a lot of these transits were really messing with us, and it didn't necessarily mean you weren't successful. I definitely, through this Mercury retrograde, have been to hell and back, but I definitely have seen some flaws in my personal processes in my life, which is now benefiting me with both my spiritual growth, but the processes I do. So sometimes it's a bitter pill to swallow, but we do benefit it from in the long run. I am seeing this romantic partner almost feeling a bit confused by you. It feels vice versa. This is the first read I've had where it's the opposite in this situation. Maybe because your Venus house is quite activated at the moment. I do feel there's romance here, but I do feel, especially for those of you in a connection right now, you could be extremely busy. We could be personalizing things. It's not even romantic, but there's a lot of planning. Those of you whom are not in the connection right now and you're inquiring, what I am seeing is, again, movement and activation happening in your Venus house. And I do feel some of you are feeling the sense that there's something pending that's coming. I'm going to pull a card for that individual there. Okay, I do feel they've got some wicked things happening. That's so Australian to say. Wicked things happening in their career sector, but something quite major is happening in their life, and it does feel very positive. Now, I do feel you guys, there's almost this disillusionment, but there's also a reality. There's values coming up. It's like, okay, we know we have to move forward, but the viewpoint that this individual is coming with is very logical. Okay, it's the aftermath of a tower. It's okay. The ashes are where they lay. What say you? What do we do now? And I think this person's looking at it very simplistically. And I feel, again, there is love here. But directly they're looking at it just very, very honestly at this point. They're very matter of fact. I don't think they're looking at the past. I don't think their process has been the same as yours. I do feel their perspective in the mix of this situation is very different, so there can be crosswise, but it's like, try not to get cross. It's actually understanding the language of love and understanding from what perspective they come. I do feel with the energy surrounding this person is a real... how they're coming through is that they do have the intent to take the bull by the horns, right? And I don't mean you. I mean metaphorically, they're ready to really deal with situations very logically. They could be very Jupiter in nature. They could be very, hey, I'm seeing full card energy coming through here with these cards. It's almost like where they stand, they're willing to take a leap of faith. They know that there's risk involved. And again, for those of you in this connection, it can be, again, that you feel that, you know, some of these decisions are a bit rash, a bit brash. But again, this person's ready to take a leap of faith. They do have a lot of heart. Where they can be there for you, they will be. For those of you who are separate, Again, I do feel this person is moving towards you. They're throwing caution to the wind. They do find that when they're around you, they kind of forget where they're at. That's why they could exhibit a little bit of ADHD. And I don't mean that medically, I mean as an analogy. They do tend to forget who they are. They kind of go away with the fairies. And so it's the, how would I explain it? You make them nervous. Let me put it that way. You do make them quite nervous. I feel anything in their family that was blocking, and family for some reason. That's why I thought it was interesting that the woke therapist wrote that on her post, because I was going to come early to the members literally because I was seeing these downloads, and which we will discuss it today. What I am seeing is lineage coming. Okay, so within the spiritual connection, in the initial stages, there might have been conditioning that we had, and it was okay, we can do this, we can't do that. I don't feel that's problematic anymore, and I do feel between now and November there can be a lot of movement. I also feel major decisions being forged within this connection. There is going to be a lot of chemistry, but the outcome is not negative. I do feel you have concerns about a third party. That can be on your side, Taurus, or theirs, but there is something to do with a T-section in the road, you know, and you're not quite sure what to do. You do feel that you're having to use your time wisely because you feel you're running out of time, and you're wondering what this star's going to look like. If you do want to see more about where this is going, come through. Otherwise, I will see you on Fridays on the main platform and every second Wednesday in the Twin Flame Hub. The link for the Members Hub is directly below. We also do have additional videos coming. Galaxy Pub is launching early 2022. Anything spiritual, the subjects covered on that channel. Very separately, we have the Age of Aquarius. Now, you can go onto the website, the VIP list is there, and when it's ready to launch, I will give you those updates. Bookings online and webinars as well. Live every Friday at 10 a.m. on the main platform, and 3 sessions a month at $11 in the Twin Flame Hub. Do keep an eye on the community tab because I am automating posts and giving you updates for the moon energies by zodiac sign. Love and light. I will see you throughout the week, both live and for your zodiacs. Take very good care, and I'll see you on the other side.